Welcome to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters, the real talk podcast for mums navigating the beautiful chaos of motherhood. I'm Charlie, mum of 5, here to help you feel more confident and less overwhelmed from pregnancy to those am I doing this right moments we all have. We talk about the stuff that no one prepares you for, so go and grab a cuppa and let's dive in.
Hello and welcome back to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters. Okay, today we're talking about something that stresses so many mums out during the summer, myself included, and that's keeping your little ones hydrated when it's hot. Because here's the thing, you know they need to drink, they know they need to drink, but try telling that to a 3-year-old who's far too busy running through the sprinkler to stop for water. I've got 5 kids. I've done a lot of hot summers and I've learned a few things along the way. So today I'm going to share how I actually keep my kids hydrated without turning into the water police. The sneaky foods that help, the warning signs to look out for, and how to enjoy summer without the constant worry. Let's get into it. First, let's just acknowledge something. This is genuinely stressful. When it's hot and your child hasn't had a proper drink in hours and they're running around like nothing's wrong, your mum brain goes into overdrive. You start doing the maths. When did they last drink? Was it enough? Are they okay? And then you're following them around with a water bottle like some kind of hydration shadow, and they're actively dodging you. It is exhausting. And when you've got more than one child to do that for, and you're wondering which one hasn't had a drink in a while, have they all had a drink? I mean, whenever I decide that it's time for everyone to have water, I make sure I go round in age order so that I know that I've covered everyone. But it is so stressful and very, very tiring. But the more you push, the more they resist, because especially toddlers and little kids, they don't want to stop playing. They don't feel thirsty the way we do, and they definitely don't understand why you're so stressed about it. So if you've ever felt like you're the only one panicking about this, firstly, you're not. It's a really common worry. And secondly, it makes sense. You're trying to keep them safe. Okay, so here's the good news. Water isn't the only way to keep your kids hydrated. If your child won't drink, you can absolutely sneak hydration in through food. And honestly, this has been an absolute game changer for me. So let me give you some ideas. Watermelon. This is the obvious one, but it does work. It's like 92% water. Cut it into chunks, freeze it into lollies, blend it into slushies. Kids love it and it's doing the job. Cucumber. Another one that's mostly water. Slice it up with hummus, add it to a little snack plate, or just let them munch on cucumber sticks. Strawberries, grapes, oranges, peaches, all high in water content. Frozen grapes are brilliant in the summer because they feel like a treat, but they're hydrating them at the same time. Make sure with tiny weeny little people that you are cutting the grapes in half because of choking hazards. It's something that I teach in my baby-led weaning course, but even when they're 5, 6, 7 years old, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm over the top. I still cut the grapes in half. I don't feel like it's worth the risk. And I'm still cutting them in half for my little kids anyway. But just, strawberries as well. If you've got really, really tiny kids, cut them into halves, quarters. We don't need extra stresses during the hot weather as well. Another one is yogurt, especially the runnier ones or pouches. They're great for adding hydration without them realising. Soups and broths. I know it sounds weird in the summer, but a lukewarm chicken broth or a cold soup can work for some kids, especially if they're poorly or off their food in the summer. Ice lollies. Make your own with diluted fruit juice or blended fruit and water. They think it's a treat. You know it's hydration. Everyone wins. Smoothies. Blend up fruit with water or milk and add a handful of ice. My kids will drink a smoothie when they won't touch a glass of water. The point is, if they're not drinking enough, feed them their water instead. I find that when I actually found this when I was a kid as well, when my mum cut up fruit and put it all on a plate and presented it really nicely, so it was all the pretty colours and it was all, easy to eat. When she handed me an apple, I was like, no, thank you, I don't want that. Or an orange, and I had to peel it. I mean, it's not a big deal, but the process, you look at it and you're like, it doesn't look very appetizing or appealing, and I need to work hard to eat that, so I actually don't want it. But when my mum used to cut fruit up and put it on a plate and just put it on the table, we would all eat it and I would really, really enjoy it. So I've carried that on into my mum life, my mum journey, and I do that for my kids all the time. I cut up fruit, put it on a plate, and as soon as I do that, they're all fighting over who's having the last piece of watermelon, because it's done in a fun way. I'm not forcing them to do anything. I just put it there and say, here's some snacks. And because they're hot, they naturally go for it. So cutting it up and putting it on a plate, such a simple thing to do, but it does make a massive difference. Okay, right. Let's talk about some other tricks, because sometimes it's not about what you're offering, it's how you're offering it. Like I just said about the fruit. So make it fun. A special cup, a silly straw, a water bottle with their favourite character on it. I know it sounds so simple, but it genuinely works. My kids will drink more from a bottle that they've chosen themselves than one that I've chosen. And straws are like, if you can get the reusable straws or whatever straws you fancy. But I bought some straws recently and my kids wanted to drink water just so they could use the straw. How wild is that? They finished the water really quickly. And they're like, can I have some more, please? I'm like, sorry, who are you? They wanted more water in their cup just because they wanted to drink out the straw. And it's these silly little things that seem so obvious that distracts them almost from what you're trying to get them to do, to drink the water, because you're making it fun. Let them pour it themselves. Be cautious, obviously. We don't want any accidents, spillages, but kids love independence. If they can pour their own water from a small jug, like with just a tiny bit in, suddenly it now becomes interesting. Make the ice lollies with them. Add a bit of flavour, a splash of fruit juice and frozen berries in a bottle, a slice of lemon or lime. It doesn't have to be plain water. Slightly flavoured is still hydrating. Set reminders together. Not for you, for them. Make it a game. Every time the timer goes off, everyone takes 3 big sips, even the grown-ups. My husband does something as well in the summer, which I love, especially when we're on holiday in a hot country and everyone needs to drink. He does drinking games. He does them a small cup of water. Either he says who can drink it the fastest, or who can drink. I need everyone to drink 3 small cups of water in the next 10 minutes. And whoever does it wins a prize or is the winner or whatever. It's not always a prize, but just making it fun, making it even healthy competition between siblings is also great. Keep water visible and accessible. A bottle on the table, a cup within reach, a water station in the garden. If they have to ask for it, they probably won't. But if it's right there, they'll just grab it. Another big one as well, things that kids are always watching what we do before they listen to what we say. Model it yourself. They see you drinking water regularly, they are more likely to copy. Kids are like mirrors. And here's a big one. Don't turn it into a battle. The more you force it, the more they dig their heels in. Offer it, remind them gently, but don't turn hydration into a power struggle. It just won't work. You can lead a toddler to water, but you absolutely cannot make them drink, which is why it's so important to try and make it fun from the get-go. Okay, this is the bit where I need to say up front, I'm not a doctor, I'm a mum, so this is not medical advice. But after 5 kids and a lot of hot summers, there are some warning signs I've learned to look out for. So I'm going to share them with you. The early signs: fewer wet nappies or trips to the toilet. If they're not weeing as much, that's your first clue. Darker wee. If it's not pale yellow, they probably need more fluids. Dry lips or mouth. If their lips look cracked or they're licking them a lot. Tiredness or irritability. Dehydration can make kids grumpy and lethargic. If they're suddenly floppy or really out of sorts, take note. No tears when crying. This one always catches people off guard, but it's a sign they're low on fluids. The more serious signs: sunken eyes or a sunken soft spot on a baby's head. Very dry skin that doesn't bounce back when you pinch it gently. Dizziness or confusion. Rapid breathing or a fast heartbeat. If you're seeing any of those more serious signs, please don't wait. Call your GP, call 111, or take them to A&E if you're worried. Don't take any risks with little kids. Trust your gut. You know your child. If something feels off, get them checked. And in the meantime, small sips of water or an oral rehydration solution like Diarrhea can help. But again, if you're unsure, always seek medical advice. I'll say it again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you the tips that I know from being a mom for so many years. And here's the thing that I want you to take away from this episode. You can enjoy summer and keep your kids safe. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Yes, hydration matters, but so does actually having fun, making memories, not spending every sunny day in a state of anxiety. So here's how I balance it. I prep before we go out, water bottles filled, snacks packed, frozen fruit in a cool bag. That way I'm not panicking later. I check in regularly, but calmly. A quick, let's all have a drink every hour or so. No drama. I watch for signs rather than counting sips. If they're weeing, if they've got energy, if they see themselves, they're probably fine. And I give myself permission to relax. Because the truth is, most healthy kids will drink when they need to. Our job is to make it available, make it easy, not spiral into panic mode every time they refuse a cup of water. You're doing a good job, even when it doesn't feel like it. All right, quick recap before we wrap up. If your child won't drink water, try hydrating foods: watermelon, cucumber, grapes, yoghurt, iced lollies, smoothies. Make drinking fun: special cups, flavoured water, pour it yourself stations, straws. Watch for early signs of dehydration: fewer wet nappies, darker wee, dry lips, tiredness. Trust your gut. Something feels wrong, get help. And above all, don't let hydration stress steal your summer joy. Prep ahead, stay calm, and remember that you're not failing if your child doesn't finish their water bottle. Oh, and one more thing before we go. Timing matters. On really hot days, try to avoid being outside during the hottest part of the day. That's usually between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. If you can, do your outdoor play in the morning or late afternoon when it's cooler. Your kids will naturally drink less because they're not overheating as much. And when you're outside in the heat, find shade, parks with trees, picnics under a canopy, even just sitting in the shadow of the house. Shade plus water plus regular breaks equals a much calmer mum. Also, wet them down. Seriously, a damp cloth on the back of the neck, a spray bottle, paddling pool, water table. Keeping their body temperature down means they lose less fluids through sweat. It's not just about what goes in, it's about what doesn't come out. And look, I know episodes like this can feel very practical and focused on kids, but here's what I've learned after 5 babies. When you've got systems in place, when you're not constantly firefighting, when you feel prepared, you show up calmer, you enjoy the moments more, you don't lose yourself in the chaos. That's what Back to Me is all about. It's not just self-care. It's about building the practical and emotional foundations so you're ready for whatever life throws at you, summer holidays included. That sounds like something you need. The link's in the show notes. Okay, that's it for today. Summer with little ones is a lot. The heat, the hydration, the constant monitoring, I get it. But you're doing an amazing job. The fact that you're even thinking about this stuff, listening to this podcast, trying to learn, that tells me everything I need to know about the kind of mum you are. So go fill up those water bottles, freeze some grapes, and then actually sit down and enjoy a cold drink yourself. You deserve it too. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters. Find ongoing support in the Mum Matters community. Link is in the show notes, because behind every child is a mum who matters. See you next time.